champion. That's Jay Harris. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Karen.
It's a little chilly here, but I'm not going to complain because apparently freezing there in your neck of the region. I'm
Freezing.
not so sure.
Yeah, freezing works. Ice everywhere, but still not as much ice as Klay Thompson had in his veins last night.
Nice transition.
Segue,
You've been doing this for a while.
A couple of years. Yeah, he played on a
Okay.
shooting clinic against the Lakers at Staples, Kerry. Tim Legler's done a few clinics of his own, former three-point champ. Give me one word for Klay last night.
Two, en fuego. Is that 2 or 1? I don't know.
We'll take it. I'm not sure.
Unconscious? I don't know.
That's a good one, yeah. Steph, no. As we get into the highlight with the Lakers, DeMarcus Cousins for the rebound.
The thing I've said about Klay Thompson all along, he's the most combustible on this team. Like, nobody gets hotter quicker for a shorter spurt and puts up more damage than Klay Thompson does.
Look how far he ran around and get that ball.
And that's a guy that's feeling it, and he's hungry, and he's hunting them down. I know what that feels like. It's a great feeling to go hunt those shots when you feel that good.
What is that like?
You know that all you need to do is get your right hand free and the ball's going to go in. Like, that's how good it feels to Klay Thompson at this point. After a shooter hits his first couple early in the game, you got a real problem on your hands because this guy obviously doesn't need a lot of space. He does not put the ball down much, so you got to be perfectly on point with your defensive rotations.
5 in a row. They set some more screens for him. Catch and shoot, 9 of 9 now. Then he gets open, more screens. His 10th three-pointer in a row, Tim.
Yeah, that's a cool one, too, because Durant set that baseline screen and turned and talked to the Lakers bench before Klay shot the ball.
All right, let's see if he can do it again. Defended well, pulls off. What's wrong with Klay Thompson?
Yeah, even Kyle Kuzma, who defended it well, was shocked it didn't go in.
I bet. Look at his shot. Look at his shot chart. I mean, it's ridiculous. He just 44 points he scored, 17 of 20 shooting, 85% from the field, started 10 for 10, tied for an NBA record. I mean, he just, after the game, they talked about Klay.
Never hit 10 threes in a row in a game. That was hard. I mean, that's hard to do. I thought I had 11 for a second, but that's basketball.
Did your dad say anything to you after the game, or did you have a chance?
I'll see him in a few minutes. He'll probably just tell me good job. Should have had 50. Should have gone for 50. It's never good enough for your parents, but, you know, that's life.
It was 10 straight?
He had 10 straight to start.
That's impressive.
First time ever.
That's the first time ever?
Yeah, 10 for 10.
Man, it's like a new record every day, ain't it?
Yeah.
Stick around. Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, a new record every day. 44 points. Didn't even attempt a free throw. Tied with Alex English and Wally Zerbiak for the third most points in a single game without a free throw in NBA history. The only players with more, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Hakeem Olajuwon. Kareem and Hakeem, no free throws in a game? That's crazy. So Steph is normally the one who's lighting it up from three. Let's check Steph's night. Third quarter, in transition. He hadn't dunked since January 2018. So he's like, oh no. Oh no. He falls down and then it shoots the three and the air ball on the three for Steph. Watch it again. He's like, really? Do we really have to watch this again? And then we put like 7 little Currys on the ground. Then he airballs the three, and then a close-up view. Here's Steve Kerr, Klay, and Steph.
When Steph lines up for some monster dunk and you see the try.
You think Steph was lining up for a monster dunk? You seen Steph's dunks?
He was going to try something.
I thought it was going to be one of those layups where he just pulls the rim down a little bit to make it seem like a dunk. He's done a lot of those over the years.
You get scared at all when you see Steph go down like that? That's kind of a rare.
He's a grown man. He's 30 years old. I ain't get scared.
That was awesome, right? You liked it? Back-to-back hilarious plays. Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of them. The Warriors were the best last night, 130-111 over the Lakers. Steph with 11. Carrie?
That was great. I loved it, Jay. Meanwhile, James Harden taking on the Sixers. Sixers are without Jimmy Butler, FYI. Just 3 minutes left in the half. Sixers up 12. J.J. Redick makes the jumper. But more importantly, Corey Brewer and James Harden. Let's take a look at that. Corey gets his hands basically in his face. They're doing something. Can you help me? My guy, I hear Tim Legler's here. What's happening here with these kids?
Yeah, that's just Corey Brewer trying to be an irritant. And sometimes, you know, you got to deny somebody as great as James Harden to basketball. He did it. I thought it was a pretty good flop by Brewer. Good non-call on that particular one. But James Harden gets his revenge right here in the open floor, turns the corner, knows Embiid can't quite get there, and gets the flush.
Yeah, but then he's still irritated, though, because Embiid fouls him hard. I heard that's what you should do to stop him. They go back and forth. They obviously are separated. Both get teased. Was that necessary? Did they both deserve tease?
I didn't think James Harden did, honestly. I thought Joel Embiid instigated that by putting his knee on his shoulder while he was standing there, sort of hovering over him. But whatever, they wanted to calm and diffuse the situation. Both guys get teased. And Joel gets revenge right here on the smackdown, trackdown. Gets up, has a few words for James Harden. I don't think the officials saw that, or it's possible Joel Embiid gets a second tee before the half and gets ejected, but they didn't see it.
All right, so here we go. Third quarter, Rockets down 25. Harden hits a three. He's still trying to stay in his rhythm, if you will. So for him, I guess it's great. But there's also a guy named Joel Embiid who probably wanted to do exactly what he came in to do, and that was get in his head and play well.
Yeah, and
look, by Kenneth Faried, right?
Yeah, and this is a team, Faried in his first game with them, but this is a team that played 5 guards a lot throughout the game. And Joel Embiid, to his credit, did not settle. He dominated this team in the paint with his size and strength, and Houston just didn't have the front line with Capella out to really do anything to slow him down. Embiid with a dominant MVP-like performance in his own right.
All right, 93-121. Obviously, Sixers get the win. Coming into this, James Harden had 19 consecutive games with 30 points. It continued. The Beard has now done something that has not been done before since the 1960s, joining Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in NBA history with at least 30 points in 20 straight games. Congratulations, James Harden. He seems pretty unstoppable, right? But here to shed some light on that is the guy who was helping me and providing context in that highlight. That's Tim Legler. So the Rockets lose. Harden, again, incredible. But if you're a defender, and we saw that with what Embiid was doing, and you're trying to stop Harden, you foul him hard, but I also hear there's some numbers that support, if you force him to go right, perhaps that slows him down as well. Help us out.
Yeah, it's a better option to send him right, but he's deadly with his step-back three-point shot going in that direction. So that's not even, all good all the time. I think what you have to have is particular personnel up front, which the Sixers do, and you're going to see Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons do a couple of things defensively that a lot of teams just can't do because of their athleticism. And then also denying him the ball, overplaying him, making him work a little bit harder. So here's a couple examples of that. Now, a lot of teams, when the bigs switch out, the big is not comfortable being out at the three-point line, so they back off a little bit. And when James Harden sees that, typically, that's when he'll step in. He steps to his right, and he's able to separate and get that three-point shot off. Well, it's a totally different story when you're going to put Ben Simmons out here because he's 6'10". James Harden knows I'm not going to get this step back off, so now he's going to call for a screen because he'd much rather operate against a center. The problem is this isn't an ordinary center. This is Joel Embiid, and this is one of the best in the league at tracking guys from the three-point line to the rim. So as Harden comes off, Embiid's in good position, and now the shot clock's winding down, and you can see that step back won't be there. Look at this contest. I mean, I don't know what could be a worse position in the league than be pinned in the corner with a 7'1" Joel Embiid timing it perfectly on this shot. As you can see, it's a moon ball, has no chance of going in. Sixers off and running. Now, the second thing they did, and a lot of teams are starting to do this, Kerry, look at this deny. This is Corey Brewer in the backcourt behind the basketball. You just don't see this kind of thing unless maybe in a high school game against a great player. But this is the steps that teams are taking now to try to make him work a little bit harder, and you'll see he'll do that. So initially he doesn't get it. He's not going to give up, obviously. He's the whole offense. So now you run a ball screen. James Harden normally would just come off here and get this dribble handoff, but look at the commitment of J.J. Redick. He jumps the passing lane, and he forces him all the way out here near half court. Now, why is this so important? Because look at the energy he's already used and stop it. By the time he catches it, you got 10 on the clock, and now it's time to go. And final part of this is the disregard now they have for other guys on the team. Faried makes the cut. Joel Embiid could care less. He leaves them. So the late blitz, that's what you're starting to see now because they know deep into the shot clock, if you can trap him out here, you're going to force other guys to have to make plays. And on this particular night, Kerry, his supporting cast, pretty anemic shooting the basketball. They're not normally this bad, but on a night when Eric Gordon and Austin Rivers and Gerald Green struggle to that extent, you can load up on one guy and you end up with a 30-point game, and that's exactly what Philly did. Give them credit. T.J. McConnell, Corey Brewer, Ben Simmons, phenomenal job denying him the ball in the second half, making other guys make shots, and they just weren't able to rise up to the challenge.
you know who else did a great job? You did. I really learned something there. I'm not kidding. That was good stuff. So everyone should be paying attention. Tim Legler, thank you so much.
Melo. But Melo took the 5-year guaranteed dollars from Denver, whereas Chris Bosh with D-Wade and LeBron all signed deals in 2007 that gave them an out 2010. Melo didn't do that because he wanted the guaranteed dollars. So he made the mistake chasing the money. But also, I think when we look at LeBron and the physical freak of nature that he is, Melo at 6'8", 240, while he wasn't fat and sloppy, bottom line is he could have taken care of himself physically better. Because I'm not seeing an eradication in the game of Melo. I'm seeing Melo not be in the same physical specimen that he once was because he didn't take better care of his body. That combining with the transition that we've been witnessing with the game and his willingness to hold the basketball and go one-on-one ISO, I think has compromised his success. And I think Melo is at a stage of point right now where two places are ideal for him. Philadelphia, because Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid, and to a significantly lesser degree, J.J. Redick, needs another person that can shoot the perimeter shot for them because Ben Simmons ain't going to do that for you. That's the one thing he's not going to do for you. Ben Simmons is the second coming of LeBron in the making. He is special. I love Ben Simmons, but he doesn't shoot and can't shoot perimeter shots yet. So you need an additional shooter in Philadelphia. But I'm told Philadelphia, it wasn't really, at least weeks ago, they weren't interested in Melo. I don't know if that's changed. Even though I was at the game last night and didn't speak to them about that, I don't know if that's changed, but weeks ago they weren't interested in Melo. LA is a different ball game because LeBron, having told Melo he needs to be in shape and ready to go if and when called upon, still has to convince Magic and Pelinka to do it. It's not so much that LeBron, from what I'm told, desperately wants Melo in LA. It's that he believes Melo got screwed over in Houston and wants to salvage his reputation and beyond in LA. And is willing to help him do that so long as Melo's willing to put in the necessary work to make that happen. Any way you slice it, I'm here to tell y'all, don't come to me talking to me like Melo is some scrub. Melo is not a number one option. Melo cannot carry the load anymore because he didn't take as good of a care of himself physically as he should have. But Melo can still play. Melo can still ball. Melo can still score. A couple of games this year, of the 10 games that he played in Houston, I think he scored over 20 like 4 of those games. A couple of games he had over 25. I'm sorry. If you a scrub, you can't do that. So if he were in L.A. with LeBron playing with him, LeBron's going to get him open shots. Don't tell me that Melo can't make some of them. I don't believe that. I believe that Melo can come to L.A., average 15 points a game, and contribute to the Los Angeles Lakers. And I actually think he's a better fit than Brandon Ingram, even though Brandon Ingram is no scrub. He's considerably younger, obviously with a stronger upside because of it. I just don't think L.A. is the ideal situation for Brandon Ingram. LeBron needs shooters. Josh Hart, Kuzma, Melo, people like that. That's what he needs. To pair with the Stevensons and Rondos and Tyson Chandlers. Zubac, the center. Zubac can play. I like him. But you need another shooter. And I think Rob Pelinka and Magic should get him, Melo, and I think that would be Melo's very last chance. If it doesn't work out for Melo in L.A., Melo needs to retire. But I don't think he's there yet. I believe enough in Melo. What about you? 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. I'm telling you right now, of course, Durant and Kawhi Leonard are better. But I'm looking at Klay Thompson. Could you imagine Klay Thompson with LeBron? If I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, I'd go all out to get Klay Thompson. Why waste your energy on Kevin Durant, who talked about it being toxic to play with LeBron? Why waste your energy pursuing Kawhi Leonard when he don't want the glitz and the glamour? He either wants a whole country at his disposal being the number one option in Toronto, or he's willing to go to the Clippers. Why waste your time with Kawhi? If I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, I go after Kawhi. If I'm the New York Knicks, I'm wondering what the hell are my options. Because from everything I'm hearing, you ain't going to get KD, you ain't going to get Kawhi, you ain't going to get Klay. Kyrie Irving, you might have to overpay and give him the super max, you give him the max. But from what I'm being told, he doesn't want to leave Boston. And oh, by the way, I'm looking at Brooklyn, who blew out Sacramento by 29 last night. They're 2 games over 500. LA, I got a very interesting question for y'all. How you feeling about D'Angelo Russell? Oh, him diming out Swaggy P with his stupid, immature nonsense, videotaping him without Swaggy P knowing, costing him his relationship with Ziggy Azalea, by the way, or Iggy Azalea, by the way. We held a lot against D'Angelo Russell for that. I got news for you. Hell with all of that. D'Angelo Russell is playing well. D'Angelo Russell looks a hell of a lot better than Lonzo Ball. So the Los Angeles Lakers got rid of D'Angelo Russell. Not only is Lonzo Ball not living up to what you would expect from a number 2 overall pick, not only does it look like a mistake by the Lakers, who passed up on Jason Tatum and De'Aaron Fox and Markkanen and Dennis Smith Jr. and Donovan Mitchell to grab Lonzo Ball, but they also moved D'Angelo Russell away because they knew they were going to get Lonzo Ball. So that's another player you can add to the list. I got news for you. This ain't as simple as everybody's making it out to be. D'Angelo Russell and the Brooklyn Nets, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be a play in free agency. I got to look at it. Let me tell you something right now. I'm literally at this point with Sean Marks and what Kenny Atkinson is doing as the coach, with the talent and how hard they play and the way they look, playing the way that they play. I got to tell y'all something right now. The only issue I got with the Brooklyn Nets is the traffic on Atlantic Avenue. If the player can somehow manage to work their way through that, dealing with that nasty traffic in Brooklyn, I got news for you. The Brooklyn Nets are an incredibly attractive commodity. New York Knicks got a problem. They got a problem. Who's going to come? All this noise about Fizdale and these boys. I love David Fizdale. He needs more talent to work with. But we at a point right now where if you're the New York Knicks, the only thing right now that seems your best option, free agency ain't even your best option. You know what the Knicks' best option is right now? Losing practically every damn game on purpose the rest of the way so you can position yourself to give yourself the best shot at getting the number 1 overall pick, which is Zion Williamson. That's it. That's it. Outside of that, I don't know what to say about the Knicks. I really, really don't. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Remember, I'm going to get into Super Bowl 53. It's the New England Patriots against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to get into that next. Keyshawn Johnson, former NFL standout, number 1 overall pick of the New York Jets, champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, outstanding NFL analyst for the family here at ESPN, especially doing a great job with the morning drive as a morning drive host in LA, 710 ESPN LA. He will be on the show with me at the top of hour number 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. So stick around. Don't touch that dial. I got more coming your way. By the way, when you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes, do you? You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screening questions based on your job requirements, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed. 888-SAY-ESPN is the number to call. 888-729-3776. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Learn what affects your credit scores and what you can do to improve them with Credit Karma. Maybe you need to dispute an error in your credit report, or you're paying too much interest. Credit Karma can help with that. Visit creditkarma.com or download the app now. That's creditkarma.com.